Well, everyone, it's time for us to go and take a look at the Apple Watch Series 9 and see how this particular watch holds up in 2025. Now, there's a few things to kind of keep in mind here. I definitely do think when it comes down to these types of watches, these are very, very good watches to still buy. I think they're very good options, and I definitely do think if you're going to go through and pick up a watch, you definitely cannot go wrong with something like this. This is still a very good, very powerful device, and I would still highly recommend people to go and buy it. There might be some other better options, and funny enough, even when compared to something like an Apple Watch Series 10, this Apple Watch is giving you substantially more colors to choose from. So it's always been something really funny, really interesting to kind of think about there. Now, if you want to pick up some watches that I would recommend buying this year, links will be down in the description below. You can get them from there, and you can help support the channel at the exact same time. Now, starting off with the outside of this particular watch. On the front side of this watch, you are getting a device that comes out in two different sizes, a 45mm size or a 41mm size. So I think these types of watches and these types of displays are very good. I think, they are very sharp, and I think they look really nice for the most part. So I think it is in and of itself one of those really key things to keep in mind there, that if you're going to go through and pick up a watch, well, you can't really go wrong with, these types of watches because they still look very good. And even when compared to the latest watch, they're only slightly different. It's not really like the biggest difference in the world, but that is once again just one of those small things to keep in mind there. With this watch too, you're still getting a 45, like I said, a 41mm size. It is a 2000 nits of brightness display, which is very nice. Once again, having a display size like this with this type of brightness is very good. I love picking up a device that's going to be giving that type of capability. And I do think this is in and of itself one of those other things to keep in mind there as well. So that definitely gets a thumbs up from me because I definitely think it's a good looking watch when it comes down to it from that side. Now, on top of that, you are still getting a watch on the backside that charges. The bands on this thing are able to be easily replaced, so you can go through and replace these bands whichever way you want to, which is actually a really nice thing. And once again, if I'm going to go through and pick up a device, I love being able to go through and pick up a phone that's going to be giving me that type of capability in and of itself. So that right there I think is really cool. On the outside altogether though, it's a really nice looking device, and I don't really have that much to complain about here when it comes down to this type of device. Now, internally, you are getting a lot of features inside of it too. You're getting the ECG app, you're getting high and low heart rate notifications, low cardio notifications as well. You're getting sleep tracking and sleep apnea notifications. You have the Vitals app, so you can check your heart rate and respiratory rate and wrist temperature. You have temperature sensing. You have so many things inside of this type of watch. It is really cool. So that does kind of aid in the overall fact that this type of device is still going to be a really good type of watch when it comes down to it from that side. So I definitely do like having a watch like this that's going to be giving me that type of capability. And I do think, once again, that is just another one of those really nice, interesting things to kind of keep in mind there from that particular perspective. Now, on top of that, when it comes down to some other areas of these types of devices, with the Apple Watch Series 9, internally, it's still going to be giving you that S9 chip inside. It still gives you that double tap gesture, precision finding. You have, up to 18 hours of battery life, which has been the same for a couple years now. But it is overall still going to be like a pretty good looking device. And I do think, once again, this is another one of those types of devices and those types of watches that I think still hold up very well when it comes down to that type of side. So I definitely think, in my personal opinion, if you are going to go through and pick up some sort of watch, this is a very good watch to still buy. This thing still performs very well. It still looks very good. And if you're going to go through and pick up a device, I do think you can't really go wrong with something like this. If you have a little bit more money, go for the Series 10. If you want to save some money, you could go for the Series 8, but I would still probably go for the Series 9. I think that one's still very good. And that's kind of how I see this particular watch holding up. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that'll mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.